Well, he's not going to pick up, is he? Evidently, he's asleep, or...
But we need him. He's the host of Raw Ups and Downs.
Well, someone else is going to have to host Raw Ups and Downs. And it's not going to be me, let me tell you. I don't even know who Raw is, so I can't do it.
It's going to have to be me, isn't it? It's going to have to be me.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben from What Culture. No, I'm not Simon Miller. Simon Miller isn't here, so allow me to be your punching bag in the comments and the dislike like bar below. Right, massive bloody Raw this week. Loads happened, so let's have a look at some ups and some downs and just have a merry little time. First we go down, and the New Day are looking rather tired. Since losing the tag belts last December, they really haven't had much to go on. They've feuded with the likes of Titus O'Neil and most recently Bo Dallas, but that's about it. After he stole their ice cream bar plans, which is a real thing that happens in a wrestling show, they poured Booty-O cereal into his mouth, which is a very clever arse-to-mouth joke. Do you get it? It's funny. It's a funny joke. It wouldn't be so bad if they were actually trying to get the titles back, but they're not. They're just sort of meandering aimlessly, doing kiddie jokes. And they were fantastic, don't get me wrong, everyone loved them, but they need something to happen to bring them back into relevance. And up now, and Braun Strowman's getting pretty bloody good, isn't he? I mean, I know he's not putting on 5-star matches against AJ Styles, but normally when you'd see the names Braun Strowman and Mark Henry on a card, you'd think, oh god, this is going to be bloody awful. But they actually put on a decent 5-minute bout where there was some back and forth, and he did a drop kick, which is impressive for a big man. And, perhaps overridingly, Braun proved he can stand up to the big boys and not just, all the little guys that they have wrestling in the WWE at the moment. So make sure you watch out, Roman, you shit-head wank weasel. Up again now, and it's great to finally see Neville have a worthy adversary. It's been a wonderful few weeks of Beardy Nev, the Goblin King, and now that he has his little prize that he can hold on to, he's really been looking for someone within the Cruiserweight division that he can go tit for tat with, and I think Jack Gallagher is the guy. They had a decent back and forth in a backstage promo, and it's also worth bearing in mind that Gollum's new, more grounded style, because he's doing less of the flashy, flippy stuff, because he's a bad guy, and that's what bad guys should do, is more in tune with what Gallagher does. So it should set up for a really technically sound match, as well as having a decent story going into it as well. Another down, and Emmalina finally debuted. Now, I was a huge fan of Emma when she was doing like the bubble popping stuff, and I was an even bigger fan of her when she was Evil Emma. So I don't know how I'm meant to feel that after months, Emmalina debuts, she walks down the aisle, she comes in, she says, hey, I'm Emmalina, I'm here. Now I'm gonna go and transition back to Emma. And I'm happy because I liked Emma, and I don't know about Emmalina, but she's been cleared to wrestle for a while, and I think WWE might be confused that actually she's there to wrestle and not transition quietly behind the scenes, and it's just... But who gives a fuck about that when it turns out that Roman Reigns is actually vulnerable? This is an up. One of many things that people find so infuriating about the big dog is how he just shakes off beatings as if he's wearing some kind of body armor with 2 R's on it, and maybe a fist protector with brass knuckles in. It's weird that, isn't it? But this week, after metaphorically spitting on the tag titles when he took on both Gallows and Anderson in a 2-on-1 handicap match, he was thrown through the barricade, and then when he tried to chase them, he was hobbling along and he had to lean on a steel chair for support, and he looked all weak and broken, and then Braun Strowman picked him up and just threw him around like he was a child, and it was so good. It was so nice to see. Fuck that guy though, God, Roman Reigns. What the hell? Bayley did it. She finally did it. This is an up. Overcoming all the odds, including sustained attacks to her neck and an attempted Dana Brooke interference, both Bayley and Charlotte put on the best wrestle that has ever been wrestled in the histo-wrestle of Monday Night Wrestle. It was the brilliant back and forth in the last few minutes that had the crowd on their feet and capped off a newsworthy and monumental Monday Night Raw. But it's down again now, with the women's title continuing its weird trajectory. Now, I think it's great that they're trying to build the mystique of Charlotte being unbeatable at pay-per-views, but I do have 2 big issues with this. Firstly, with the title changing hands on Raw, it feels like a retread of what Charlotte and Sasha did last year, and it just sort of feels extremely predictable. And secondly, assuming Charlotte is going to win back the title at Fastlane, which she probably will, and Bayley is then going to have her big moment at WrestleMania where she dethrones Charlotte and defeats her unbeaten record on pay-per-view, why ruin that by having it happen 7 weeks earlier on an episode of Raw? It just feels really weird. It was done immaculately well in NXT between Bayley and Sasha Banks, when Bayley was chasing Sasha for months and months and months, and several takeovers she couldn't beat her, and then finally at TakeOver Brooklyn, the biggest takeover so far in front of everyone, she finally did it, and it felt huge. So if they're gonna have it happen at WrestleMania, why ruin that? Why do that on Raw? It's just weird. A final up now, and Jeri-KO is no more. We all knew it was going to happen at some point, but I don't think any of us could have predicted quite how well it was gonna go. During Jericho's beautiful festival of friendship that included a crap magician, naff artwork, and a returning legend in Gilbert, Kevin Owens also had a gift for Jericho. It was a list, a brand new list for him. And as Jericho took it out, it turns out it was actually the list of KO, and the only name on it was Jeri-KO. So then he threw them all over the place and just smashed everything up. And it was actually absolutely heart-wrenching, like a real gut punch. And I don't know, I just feel a bit empty now. I mean, it's an up, it's good, it was excellent television, but it's just, I mean, Jericho's like, what, is he approaching 50? How many friends has he got left? Right? It's sad. It's sad. So there we are, 5 ups and 3 downs. Now I'd like to take this moment to encourage you all to go to whatculture.com and read the full article from Scott Carlson. It's great. I know that sounded sarcastic, it wasn't. It's really good, you should go and read it.
I'm not Simon Miller. You can't follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316, and I hope sincerely that Jack is in tomorrow.
We're never going to stop doing magazines called wrestling. It's time for issue 4, the first magazine of 2017. And to celebrate, we're looking back on the wrestling year that was, including end-of-year awards for best and worst matches of 2016, best and worst wrestlers of 2016, best and worst feuds, and many more. Also, a gigantic career retrospective on AJ Styles, Dixie Carter's crimes against wrestling, and how WWE should have booked the road to WrestleMania 2016, written by this sexual Catherine Wheel. As ever, the magazine is available now to order at shop.whatculture.com. For the love of God, buy it.